Good morning again. Oh gosh. So I take Fridays off, and today is Friday, and I'm not taking the day off. And I think my camera was like, what the heck is going on, coach? Why in the world are we working today? Did we not work hard enough this week? Go get your coffee. If you were here earlier, I apologize for that. If you are brand new here this morning, I am just going to take some time. We're gonna have some coffee this morning. We're going to talk about weight loss. We're going to talk about successes. We're going to talk about failures. We're going to talk about what my most successful client looks like. A client who has lost over 100 pounds, what their characteristics were as they lost the weight. We're going to talk about it all. And I'm going to talk about what you want to talk about. So I want you to feel free to just drop a comment in the chat, and I'll talk about anything. You know me, I'm not politically correct. I do not care what people think of me. And so I'll talk about it. If you want to talk about it, drop it in the chat. But this morning I wanted to talk about I want to start this session by reading you something from my absolute favorite book in the entire world. It's a book that literally changed my life as I went through my weight loss journey. So I want to talk about I want to just read something to you from chapter 15 of Atomic Habits. And it is my hope that it helps somebody out there, because there are so many people who are desperate right now. When I look around, just the circle of my life and what I've been through in losing 130 pounds. When I look just through my circle, I just see a desperation out there. I see a frustration of people who are desperately sick and desperately ill. They're completely gripped by the addiction of ultra processed food. They're completely gripped by the addiction to sugar, to carbohydrates, and they can't escape. I'm seeing it really strongly now in my in our 30-day carnivore challenge. I'm seeing it just pop out like a monster this week because we're in the second week of the carnivore challenge, and now the red dog's starting to talk to people in there. There's 64 of us in there who are doing this challenge, and the red dog's starting to bark, starting to put doubt in people's minds, like that it's possible. The first week, Red Dog is like, "Oh, you're just going to go on a perpetual diet. This is just another one of your fads. This is just something that you're going to end up quitting," which a really sad percentage of people who start quit. And so Red Dog knows that. And Red Dog is saying, you're going to quit anyway. And so I'm going to leave you alone this week. This is the first week of the carnivore challenge. They're feeling great. They're feeling energetic. They're feeling like they can do it. They're feeling positive. And then week 2 hits. And then Red Dog's like, whoa, wait a minute. You mean you're going to do this a second week? I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of things. I'm going to tell you that you're bored with food. I'm going to tell you that you're starving. I'm going to tell you that you can't sustain this. I'm going to tell you just to take one bite. So Red Dog starts to bark just a little bit louder in our second week clients in the carnivore challenge. Now, full disclaimer, people ask me all the time, well, why are you talking about carnivore? Why, is that how you lost 130 pounds? And my answer to that is no, it's not how I lost 130 pounds. I lost 130 pounds by eating whole foods and eating the ketogenic lifestyle. That's how I did it. And that's how I still live. I'll never change, because if I change, I will gain 130 pounds back. I know me. I'm a food addict, and I know my patterns. I know my weaknesses. And so for me, there's no going back. And I posted something in my social media this morning that I was in 2016, I was 272 pounds. In 2019, I was 145 pounds. And in 2024, as of this morning, I'm 135 pounds. And so the thought process of, oh, you're on a fad diet. Well, it's been a long fad. It's been 7 years to where I've kept this weight off, and not only kept it off, but I'm continuing to improve. I'm continuing to do and hit my goals, and so it's a long fad if that's what we're talking about here. But the reason why I was successful and the reason why most people are not successful is based on what I'm going to read to you. This is coming from chapter 15 in the book Atomic Habits. And in the title of it is The Fundamental Rule of Behavior Change. So as I read this to you, I want you to think about your behavior. I want you to think about your own lifestyle. And I want you to put yourself inside the pages of this paragraph that I'm going to read, okay? The probability of us repeating a behavior is high when the experience is satisfying. Okay? Think about your failures in your diet, in your diet cycle. The problem with our priorities is that human behavior went through the process of evolution to prefer quick rewards over delayed rewards. I don't know how many moms I talk to every day who say, Monica, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. And I can't even think about coming home and cooking for my family. I can't even think about, making something from scratch. I All I have time to do is pick my kids up from school and wearily drive through the drive-through and pick up a to-go meal or get on DoorDash, and I just have to have it delivered to my house. I got to order a pizza. I'm just exhausted. I don't have time to worry about what I feed my family. We're dealing with a pandemic of exhaustion. I'm going to say an epidemic. A pandemic is worldwide, correct? We're dealing with an epidemic because I don't think third world countries face this for a mirage of reasons, correct? But we here in America kill ourselves over convenience. So not only are we addicted to the food, we are addicted to convenience as well. And we can't even imagine coming home and cooking for our family. We can't imagine changing a lifestyle or introducing the lifestyle to our family because it's too much work, right? So the problem with our priorities is that human behavior went through the process of evolution to prefer quick rewards over delayed rewards. The fundamental rule of behavioral change is this. Listen to this. We repeat what is immediately rewarded. I do not know how many times I have a client, and I won't take clients like this anymore who come to me and say, I want to be fit in a swimsuit by next summer. I don't take those clients anymore. It's not rewarding to me to take care, because I know the math. I know the macros to give this person. I know that person, if they really want to do that, they'll do it and then they'll gain the weight back. That's not my goal of KM health coaching. That is not why I opened this business. That's not why I changed my life, right? We repeat what is immediately rewarded. We avoid what is immediately punished. Here's the problem of obesity. Here's the problem of our society. You see, we don't become obese overnight. I did not become 272 pounds in 1 week. It happened so gradually that we just ease into it. We take the reward system, we take what is immediately rewarded, which is that yummy taste in our mouth when we go get a Big Mac. We take that reward and we live and we repeat that reward. We take the reward of that pizza that is delivered to our front door, and we immediately grasp onto that reward, but we're not immediately punished with body fat. It happens 1 pound at a time. We adapt into that 1 pound gain. Then we adapt to the next 1 pound gain. And then we adapt to the next one. Now, what we do, and here's how we get away with this. What we do is we don't go get the next size clothes up in one season. Hear me out on this. We don't, because I think if we had to go get the next size up clothing, in the same season, we would be like, "Hey, what the heck is going on now?" Because, I need to not size up, right? What we do, and this is I'll just speak for me, and again, I speak for me on all of this. What we do is we put our summer clothes away in a Rubbermaid tub, right? Because it's getting ready to we got the sweater weather out, it's time to get the sweater weather clothes out, and we like baggy, comfy, cozy, sweaters. And so we cover up the damage that we did over the summer with our sweater weather clothes, right? And then snow comes or it gets cold outside and we just make our way to TJ Maxx because last year's clothes don't fit. Well, we must have washed them and they must have shrunk in the dryer, right? So we go to TJ Maxx and we go and we get the next size up. It doesn't hit us because certainly those clothes shrunk in the dryer. And so we just need a new wardrobe. So then summer comes. Well, summer clothes that fit last year don't fit anymore. So we head to the store again. We upsize our clothing line, but it happens over seasons versus overnight. I think if overnight we realized, "Oh my gosh, my pants are fitting a little bit too tight," and we didn't have the option of going to get new clothes, I think that trend would change, and that's just what happened in my closet, right? We repeat what is immediately rewarded. We avoid what is immediately punished. If we want a habit to stay, so let's talk about getting a healthy lifestyle here. We need to feel successful, even if it's in a tiny manner. This is why when I work with a client, we work in 10-pound increments. So I posted something in this is one thing I want to talk to you about if you saw my post of me having 2 openings for the next year. And I've gotten so many messages. I've got a waiting list for that program because it is so hard to get into. One of the things that I'm asking them to do as I choose who I'm going to put that in that program is this very thing. I don't want, you have to have 100 pounds to lose to qualify for that program. But we don't look at 100 pounds loss. We look 10 pounds at a time. So there's 2 times that we intentionally, there's 2 major rewards that I want my clients to do when they get to 2 major. Like I'm talking more than a pedicure, more than, you go get yourself something fabulous and we're going to celebrate. We're going to do crazy stupid things to celebrate your goal. One of them is Wonderland. Wonderland means you're not 200 pounds anymore. Same goes if you're in the 300s, right? 299. Those markers of I will never see 200 again or I will never see 300 again, those are massive mile markers in your journey. And I want them celebrated. The other celebration we do is when you reach your goal, your health goal. I want a massive, massive reward for you. Those are the only 2 things we celebrate massively. The other things we celebrate are 10 pounds at a time. Every week that I meet with a client, we set a goal and it's only 10 pounds. And I want that client to have something strategic. The Bible says in the Old Testament, when the Israelites left slavery, God told them, and there's a specific word, and you can put it in the comments section. Um, Santi, I gotta stop. Remind me where we were. You are an example of somebody I'm talking about today. All right. Today, we're talking about the clients that are successful and losing 100 pounds and what their traits are. And Santi is one of those. She just does what I say. She just does the things. Sometimes I may give her something absolutely crazy to do, like eat a potato. Oh my gosh, Santi. She says, "Are you kidding me? Are you flipping kidding me, coach? You want me to eat an apple and you want me to eat a potato? Aren't you a keto coach?" That's exactly what I want you to do, girl. And that's exactly how you got that pound off that week. There's a strategy. There is a strategy to that, and that is one of the reasons why you are so successful is because you do the things, right? You just do them. You don't ask questions. You don't panic. You don't go back to your addictive behaviors. You just do it. That's why you're successful. I'm so proud of you. What do you mean, awaken? What do you mean you're the highest in the room? Tell me more about that. I want to talk to you. So, when I was talking about rewards, when in the Bible days, the Israelites left, when the Israelites left slavery and they were wandering through the desert for 40 years, right? They were wandering. God did a miracle. He did miracle after miracle for them. Every time he did one and every time he got them through something, he said, I want you to build an altar. I want you to build an altar. Not to worship. God was the one they were worshiping, right? He wanted them to remember. This is why the reward systems are so important. And it's 10 pounds at a time. Every 10 pounds, I want there to be something ready for you, right? Because we repeat what is immediately rewarded. We repeat it, right? If we want a habit to stay, we need to feel successful, even if it's in a tiny manner, even if it's 5 pounds, even if there are 3 words that I cannot hear from my clients. I have a blockage in my head. Hear. I cannot hear them say, I only lost. I can't hear that. If they lost a pound, you know what? That is a pound. That is a pound they lost. So, the initial 3 laws of behavioral change: make it obvious, make it attractive, and make it easy. This is one of the strategies that I work with my clients on with the Atomic Habits. Making that habit obvious. So many times we say we're going on a diet. Tomorrow I'm going to change my mind. Well, then we sleep. And then the next morning, the donut comes and grabs our nose first. We forget the promises we made. So making it obvious, getting rid of that crap, cleaning out the cupboards, getting rid of that thing, making it attractive. Guys, if you cannot live a lifestyle for the rest of your life, this is not the lifestyle for you. Does that mean, as a food addict, my name's Monica Boyer, I am a food addict. Does that mean that I can have anything I want to eat? Not for me. Not for me. Perhaps you, if you are a normal eater, and there are those normal eaters in the house, I'm promising you, there are normal eaters out there, but 1 in 3 of us is a food addict. Okay. So Monica Boyer cannot go to Martin's and get a donut. If she did, she knows that she's going on a 30-pound sugar binge. Are there emotional eaters that can moderate? Perhaps. That is one of the therapies that I use. A food addict who's chemically addicted to food has no moderation. There is no moderation for a food addict. This is where I separate myself from my colleagues on the health field, because a lot of people think, you know, I can moderate this. Everything is good. And if you tell me I can't have it, then I'm going to want it more. A food addict, you can't do that. That's like an alcoholic going to a bar and saying, I'm just going to go hold my beer in the bar. Just doesn't work that way, right? Now, if you're an emotional eater, if you have an eating disorder, there's a different treatment for that, right? There is treatment for that particular illness. You perhaps can moderate. But there is also a possibility that if you are a food addict, you're also an emotional eater. Those things go hand in hand. The big difference in treatment is that the time placement of therapy, okay? Time placement and therapy. That's the difference in the treatment. The initial 3 laws of behavioral change: making it obvious, making it attractive, and making it easy, boost the chances of your behavior being carried out. The 4th law, making it satisfying, boosts the chance of the behavior being reiterated next time. That makes sense? So if I make this lifestyle attractive for me and for my clients, they're more apt to stay in the game. And it is possible to make it attractive. That's the cool thing about the lifestyle that I teach. It is possible to make it attractive. It's possible to make it livable for the rest of your life. Are there things you're going to have to give up? Absolutely. And this is where I divide from my health colleagues on the other side, saying you can eat anything you want. If you're a food addict, you cannot. If you don't believe me, try it and see where it ends up. My question would be to them, how's it working for you? Are you on a diet hamster wheel, or have you been in remission? Are you now free? Are you in recovery? Those are the things. There is a difference between emotional eating and food addiction, and you can have both. But some of the traits of a client who is successful in my program is the word steadiness. I get those clients most often in my long-term program because the financial part is taken care of. They've enrolled. They have committed for the next 12 months of their life. They have the financial accountability behind them. They settle in. And with those clients, they're at peace. They have hard times. Absolutely. We have wrestling matches in our weekly sessions that I have to literally pull them out of the pit. But those clients who have over 100 pounds to lose, who trust me, and who settle into the long-term programs have peace. They have months where they don't lose any weight, but then they have months where they steadily lose weight. Those clients don't ask questions. Now, I want them to ask questions because I want them to know the science behind what we're doing. But literally, they will look at me and say, you want me to stand on my head? This is a joke. You want me to stand on my head and hold my breath for 10 seconds next week, but from the time that I meet you now till the time I see you next week. All right, I'll do that. Anything else you want me to do, coach? Is there anything I'm missing, coach? And they just calmly do it. Now, that was a joke. But for Sancy, it wasn't a joke because I said, you know what? We got to shake your body up. We got to shake your metabolism up. You have been doing amazing. You've been tracking your food for me very, very faithfully. Looks like the scale's a little bit stalled. Now it's time to shake your metabolism up. Let's do something crazy. Let's go into the carb up. Let's do this. My big caveat there is the only carb up I believe in is whole foods if it has zero nutrition label. So we're talking about nature's carbs here, right? So this is why my clients in the long-term programs are successful, because they just trust the process. They don't let the scale freak them out. If I let the scale freak me out as someone who's reached her goal, 2 days ago, I got on the scale. I was 5 pounds heavier than I am today. I gave you what my weight was today. If I let the scale mess with this head and mess with my journey, I would have quit on Monday, because obviously it doesn't work. Obviously, now, we knew that Monica was eventually going to fail. We let the red dog kick in and let the red dog speak for us. And here's why people fail. Here is the number one reason. And I talked to somebody, my beautiful nail tech yesterday. Got my nails done yesterday. My beautiful nail tech yesterday said to me, she was like, since I saw you last time, I see her about once a month. She says, like, and she told me last month that she was on, this weight loss journey. I don't know what she was doing particularly. She had mentioned, whole foods. She had mentioned eating healthier and things like that. I typically don't shove my lifestyle down people's throats, when I'm talking to them. I usually keep it to myself and say, I'm here when you need me. But she had done that. Well, I sat down yesterday with her. She says, do you do this for a living? I said, yes, I do. She's like, do you charge for your programs? I said, yeah, I do. But talk to me. A lot of times people will say that, and then they'll shut up. I'm like, no, talk to me. Talk to me. And she's like, "Well, I was doing so good. I was doing all of the things and I was eating whole foods and I was, was cutting down on the sugar. I was doing all of the things and the scale just stopped moving." And I said, "Okay, tell me more." The scale stopped moving. I said, "All right. And what is the problem?" "Well, it must not have been working. So I went on a binge." Right? Do you get that? This is why diets fail. This is why the diet industry makes millions and billions of dollars from you. They depend on that scale not moving because they know that when that scale stops moving, you're going to have a binge. You're going to go back and you're going to need their products again, right? You see, I don't hesitate. I do not hesitate to remove the scale from somebody's house, one of my clients. Don't hesitate to do it. The scale is a great coach, it is not a judge. And the reason why people fail on their diets is because that scale stops moving and they think that they failed. Ask Nurse Cindy, precious Cindy. I miss you, Cindy. I don't know where you've been, but you have not been on my feed. And we got to chat about that. Beautiful, beautiful woman. I love her. Dr. Barry, love them. But Ask Nurse Cindy talks about this concept called the whoosh. If you've not seen it, go to Dr. Google, type in Ask Nurse Cindy, type in balloon video. You'll see what I mean. You see, the body's number one job, the creator of the universe created us for this. The body's number one job is to keep us alive. And when it keeps us alive, its job is to keep us stable. It's called homeostasis. That's what its job is to do. So it'll do that with your metabolism. It'll do that with your calorie intake. It'll do that with your TDEE. It will do that with all of the things. It just wants to keep you alive. That's its job, right? So you go on this diet, you starve yourself, your body, and even if you went on a healthy lifestyle, if you did the ketogenic lifestyle, the same thing happens. Your body says, "Oh, you have done this to me before? Not going to happen again. You're not starving me again. Uh-uh. I am going to pack every single bit of water, of fat. I'm going to pack it all in the fat cells because you're not going to starve me again." So you go a week. You actually can gain weight, right? The scale can go up at that point because your body is just like a sponge. It's holding on to everything because it thinks you're going to starve it. Week 2 comes around, it's like, "Hey, last time I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I used to eat Whole Foods, a whole pie, a whole package of cookies, and a whole pizza. You are funny, and you are also one of my successful ones, mister. So your body's like, "Okay, week 2, you may be a little bit more serious, but I am holding on. And in fact, I'm going to hold on to everything you put in your mouth. I am just holding on because you're starving. I am pretty darn sure you're starving me." Week 3 comes around, maybe the same thing. Week 4 comes around, your body's like, "I surrender. What the heck are you doing? I can't hold on to this anymore." And it gets rid of all of that water in your cells. It gets rid of all of that. And you experience what is called a whoosh. A whoosh, you could lose 5, 10 pounds in 1 week, but you've lost nothing for 3 weeks, right? So, what happens in the diet culture, because right here it says we repeat what is immediately rewarded and we avoid what is immediately punished. Bingo. That's the same thing with diet culture. Because it is not moving quick enough, or because the scale stalled, we say, "Fly and rip. This isn't working. I must try the next starvation diet." And then we quit. Have you ever seen that picture on the internet of that guy digging in a like in a cave. He's digging, digging, digging. And then he's like, I can't do this anymore. And he quits and he walks away. But the picture below, it's him digging, digging, digging. And you see the other side of what he's digging. And the other side is all the jewels. He quit right before this. This is what we do when we diet. And this is what I did not do this last time that I said enough is enough. And I needed to get 130 pounds off my body. That's when I said, who cares? I have got to find a lifestyle that I will never wrestle with obesity again. Now, I had a lot of work to do. A lot of people look at my before and after pictures and they say, well, good for you, coach. It must be nice for your body to transform in 6 weeks like that. Honey, no. It took me a year and a half. And then when I went into maintenance, it took me another 2 years to understand how to maintain my weight, where I had gained 20 pounds. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I had to realize how to maintain was not the same journey as getting it off. Anybody can get 130 pounds off their body. That's easy. What is not easy is keeping it off. My favorite social media guy, don't even know his name, Terrence. I think it's Terrence. I'm going to call him Terrence. He says America does not have a weight loss problem. They have a weight gaining problem. And that is the truth. We don't have a weight loss problem. Heck, there's shortcuts all over. You just have to look. You just have to. Since I've been talking about this on next to my phone is going to be full of shortcuts like Optavia and weight loss shots when I open it up again. We don't have a weight loss problem. We have a weight gaining problem. The problem with those programs is you don't keep it off. You don't keep that weight off. It comes raging back the minute you stop. And so if you don't find something that's rewarding for you and you don't find a lifestyle that you can do the rest of your life, you're going to gain it all back. So I want to encourage you today. I want to encourage you in the fact of some numbers, okay? And I already talked about this. 2016, I weighed 272 pounds. I had to back it up to 2016 because when I first began my weight loss journey, the highest I had seen was 100 or 250. And I just found some records in 2016. I was 272 pounds. 2019, I was 145 pounds. 2024, this morning, October 11th, to 135 pounds. So the hope in that story is not to give you random numbers. It's to tell you my life changed. But the hope in that story is that number one, you can get the weight off. And number two, you can keep it off. You don't have to go through that diet cycle again. And you don't need a darn product to do it. You need zero. In fact, most clients to get into my program, I don't want you on any crap. I do not. Unless you're on my GLP-1 recovery program, we're going to put you on a natural GLP-1 as we get you off the weight loss shot. If you come to me and you're on vitamins and you're on, no, because there's crap in those things. I want you completely free of those things. And then we talk about what to put in. You don't need a product. You don't need a shot. You don't need a potion. You don't need anything except this: a determination that you're going to fight for your life and you're not going to stop until you get your life back. So what kind of client am I looking for to fill the 2 spots that I have available for my long-term program? Grit. I will do probably 5 interviews next week because I have opened those doors. I will probably do 5 interviews next week. And just because you apply for that program does not mean I take you in. I don't want money. I don't want your money if you're not serious. But I'll probably do 5 interviews next week. And I'll probably put 2 on the maybe list. And then the one that I accept into the program will have one ingredient that the other ones didn't have. I'm going to say 2 words: desperation and grit. That's what I need. I need desperate people who will do anything to change their life, who will say, whatever you need me to do, coach, wherever you need me to be, I will be. I'm desperate and I'm done doing the diet cycle and I need grit. I need someone who's willing to go through Hell Week. I need someone who's willing to go through um, a family crisis and not go off plan. I need somebody who's willing to go through sickness and not get off plan. Those kinds of people are my successful people. There is such a peace and calm with my yearly clients. They're a different breed. So, most successful program I have with the numbers for marketing, for you marketing gurus out there, most successful 3 month because it gets you past the honeymoon stage into some of the pit, right? My most peaceful clients and successful are the ones who stay with me a year. And in my addiction treatment center, 18 months. Because those people come in not in a hurry. The people who come into my program on the 3 month program, and I think I speak for Coach Darcy as well, they're number one, they're panicked because they only have me for 3 months. And so they think they have to do everything and all the success has to happen in 3 months. They're restless sometimes. Sometimes they're angry, mostly when the scale goes up. And the scale, I mean, you gotta just face it. The scale's going to go up. It is going to go up at some point in your journey. They don't, my year clients don't get rattled when that happens because they know that I've got a year to work with them. They know that maybe they've adapted metabolically and I have to do a reverse diet and we have time to do that. 3 months, we are, I mean, and there's no way to get around that. I have to hurry things up with my 3 month clients. The most unsuccessful ones are my cheapest program, which is 8 weeks. That's good for people who are do-it-yourselfers and who do long-term lifestyle changes successfully. Those, works. I could count on one hand how many times that has worked for a client. Challenges, those just get the ball rolling. But the minute that challenge, like my carnivore clients right now, I have them for 30 days. Coach Darcy and I have them for 30 days. And most of them are doing, wonderful. But a lot of them see the date October 31st, and they can probably, I hate to say this, I'm going to tell it as it is, coach. I don't want to bull crap with you. A lot of those clients see October 31st, or no, November 1st. They'll get to the November 1st as a binge date. So they see the end date and they're thinking, oh, it's over. It's over on the 31st. We can do anything for 30 days, right? And then November 1st comes and there's a massive binge that happens and they fall off. So those programs are great to get your body detox, but they're not great for long-term success at all. Everything I say, somebody can come and post in the comments, hey, I'm an exception to that. And I have heard some exceptions to that from our May 1st round. I've got some clients who took that, whose lives were changed, and they are all on it. They're still living the carnivore lifestyle. In fact, some of them are still living the strict one. I can't even do that, right? So I want to just tell you, if you have 100 pounds to lose and you are fed up with having that extra body fat on your body and you're just tired of being tired and you're like, Monica, I don't know what it takes. I have to get into your program. I have to. I am desperate. If you're one of those, I'm going to tell you this. You have to have such desperation in your soul that you'll do anything, that you will do anything. You don't let finances get in the way. You don't let family get in the way. You don't let events get in the way. A lot of people say, well, I'll join your program after this event. No, you won't. No, you won't. You join when you're desperate. That is the first sign of success. And then you come into the program, you're accepted in the program. Somebody said something to me the other day that just really resonated with me. She's a newbie in the addictions treatment center, and she said, "You know what? For the first time in my life, I've come into a program and I don't have to do anything. I entrust you with everything. You take care of my macros. You take care of what I'm doing." Now she does have to do things. She's got to do what I say. She said, "But for the first time in my life, I don't have to think about what to do. It's all in your hands," which makes me nervous, right? But on the other side of what she said, she does the things. Beautiful story. Beautiful story of recovery. You know, Sandy's spoken in the chat. She just does the things. She just says, "Hey, I'm feeling this way." I feel her frustration sometimes during our coaching sessions, but she says, "What do I do? I'm going to trust you." This is why before each coaching session, I pray for my clients. And if you're, I love all people. I just love people. I just love people. I don't care your background. I don't care who you love. I don't care. I just love people. But I am a person of faith and I pray for my clients. It's much bigger than a diet plan. It's much bigger than macros. It's much bigger than numbers. It's body, mind, and spirit. And there are times as a coach that as I'm praying for a client before our session, I'm just like, you know what? You're going to have to take this because I have nothing at this point. I don't know where this client is at this point in time. There are some times that I have to speak very strongly and not so nice into their life. And I've got to say, what the heck are you thinking? Do you want this or do you not want this? And then there's other times I have to sit with a client in a session and just hold them because their world has fallen apart. There are some clients that I am coaching in my coaching repertoire. I have a woman who is at the top 500 corporations in America. Most powerful woman I've ever met. We had a session. And I had to change everything that I had planned in that session because at this moment of time, that's not what she needed. She needed to be spoken life into because she's had to be strong for every person around her. She's in a man's world. Every person around her, she had to be strong. So I had to change everything and say, "Nope, I know the program says we're doing this week. We're not. We're going to scrap that. And here's where we're going to sit for a week. We're just going to sit here for a week." There are times that I have to look a client in the eye and say, "You know what? I know you want to do this week, but at this point in time, we just need to sit here. We need to let that scale rest. We need to sit here and be okay." That that is the most difficult part because I'm a strong woman. I can take a politician out by his knees if I wanted. I find it harder now to do that. And it's very frustrating because I'm a lobbyist at heart and a very, very strong woman. And it's very difficult sometimes to not have that punch anymore. And I asked God the last weekend, "Are you finished with me?" Because, and I'll have to tell you the whole story because it's not formulated yet. But I had to ask God, "Are you finished with me?" Because I'm not angry anymore. I'm not punchy anymore. And he said, "Monica, who is your audience right now?" It's men and women who are broken. That's my audience right now. So, yeah, Mike, you're so right. You are so right. If you really want to change, it's so easy when you are ready to make it a priority and trust the coach. Sometimes the coach is crazy. I have an amazing coaching team. God has blessed me this year. He has thrown the company into another realm that I never expected him to do. I get to coach with my sister. I get to bring new coaches on who have the same passion. I get to license coaches now. It's the most amazing, beautiful scenery that I have around me. And yet I had the nerve this weekend at a conference to say, God, are you finished with me? I think I probably need a spiritual coach at this point in my life because it's completely true. No, he's not. He has sent me to make broken things better. There are so many women out there right now who are listening to my voice who are broken, who have chains around their wrist, who believe the lies of the enemy that say you're no good, you're too fat, you're too dumb, you're not good enough to do anything. That haunts me because I was that woman. I was that woman. I was broken. I was bound by obesity. I was to the point I couldn't see. I had floaters in my eyes because my blood pressure was so high. I was that woman. And now, those are the women I see. Broken. So is God finished with me? I don't think so. I don't think so. I want you to know that there's hope. I want you to know that God has a plan for you. If you are not living in God's plan right now because you're so sick, maybe it's time for you to reach out. The women who have healed themselves and been healed in my practice are out serving. They're out doing the things that they couldn't do before. You see, we're moms. We have been sold a false bill of goods. And I don't know if it came from the church. I don't know if it came from religion. We have been sold a false bill of goods that our only identity is to serve others and make sure everybody else is okay. Make sure everybody else is happy. All of our kids, all of our family, all of our people around us. We have been sold this false bill of goods that everything is okay if we are making everybody else happy. But you know what happened in the process of that? We lost us. We lost ourselves in that. I lost me in that mode. Now, is it bad that we're serving others? Absolutely not. But if we don't put our mask on, our oxygen mask on first, and heal ourselves first, we are no good to anybody else. I was literally no good. Y'all, I could not run around the playground with my kids because I was so obese. I couldn't run around the playground once with my kids. How is that helping them? I don't get a do-over. I don't get a do-over. Coach Darcy and I recorded a podcast yesterday in the studio. And I found it so cool how God has put this organization together. She has a passion for young moms when she coaches. She has a passion to make sure moms don't do what we did. You know what my passion is? My passion is recouping the time for the women who lost it. My passion is helping perimenopause, menopause women reclaim what they lost. And so the two of us together, she's like, hey, sister, I know you're a busy mama, but don't do what I did. And she's amazing at coaching those young moms. And then I'm like, you know what? I believe God redeems the time. I will never get the time back with my kids. I will never get it back. And so if I can help a woman reclaim that time and find her calling because she's healthy, that's my job. And the guys just fall in the middle of that, Mike. You guys just fall in the middle of that. You do what we say, you lose the weight, and it's, it is my hope that with the men that we work with, it's my hope for them that they will help their wives. A really, really sad, and I don't even know how to address this. You're just hearing my heart today. I don't even know how to address this, but the saddest emails I get are from husbands who say, I will do anything to help my wife. And it's never what they look like. It's never about that. It's about the fact that they are missing their best friend because their best friend is broken. And I sadly have to go to them and say, until she's ready, I can't help her. When she's ready, I am at the front of the line, ready to grab her hand. So I don't know if this has helped anyone today. If you grab onto hope, I've done my job. My coffee's cold. I didn't even take time to take a sip. Do you have any questions for me? I'll be happy to answer any questions. God put on my heart this weekend to do something really big. And if you're a praying person, could you pray that through? Again, I was complaining to him that I think he's finished with me. I don't think he's going to use me anymore. I'm a little exaggerative. I get it. He said, no, actually, I have the opposite. And he downloaded an entire conference. So I want you to know, if you are feeling broken today, I want you to borrow some hope from me. I have enough to give. Coach Darcy has enough to give. If you are feeling broken and if you're feeling hopeless, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to grab your life back. I believe in you. When you're ready, you're going to do it. Here's the other thing. If you're fighting it still, if you're still in the wrestling match with God, or if you're in the wrestling match with yourself, don't call me. I want you when you're ready. I want you when you have grit. I want you to be so angry that you will say, Monica, I am handing in my entire journey over to you. I'm going to trust you with it. I'm going to hand it over to Coach Darcy. That's when we want you. Not a question, but just want you to know that our group is alive with his work through you and Darcy. Santi, you mean so much to me. Thank you so much. The other massively successful program that we have in our community is the group. Coach Darcy and I are the mean ones, actually. It's the group that thrives off of each other, the weight loss group. Those guys, I remember thinking in Monday night's group, my cheeks hurt. I was smiling so much. The success stories in there, just amazing. I'm here. I'm here for you when you're ready, not before, not a single minute before. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. You're wasting your time. There's hope. I just dropped the link to our website if you want to check us out, kmhealthcoaching.org. I want you to know there's help. There's healing. One of the things that I need you to kind of wrestle with before you call me is the idea of food addiction. I want you to take that and I want you to wrestle with it. I want you to, on my front page at kmhealthcoaching.org, I use a tool called the Yale Food Addiction Scale, the YFAS. The simple form is on my front page of the website. If you struggle with food addiction, some of my treatments won't work. Or we'll figure it out. Eventually, we'll figure it out. The problem is when somebody comes to me not knowing if they wrestle with food addiction or not, and they try the weight loss section, they fail over and over because there's no moderation for a food addict. Well, there's moderation in my weight loss program, right? And so it is important that, and we can always transfer. It's just, I don't like to waste people's money and I don't like to waste their time. If they know they're a food addict and they know that they've got to invest in the treatment center, I'd rather have them start there. I do have one, and I've experimented with her. I do have one who is in both programs because we were unsure if she wrestled with emotional eating or if she was, physically addicted to food. Again, my treatment's the same. It's just there's a couple of modifications that I do, and I do not want you in therapy if you're a food addict first, because that red dog will talk. The red dog in your mind, which was the red dog is the same thing as the addict brain. That red dog will have a heyday with your therapist. I am telling you, he will tell her anything she wants to hear. And I have had people who go through heavy trauma who were food addicts, and they've gained 60 pounds in my program because of the therapy. Therapy hurts some people depending on where you are in the stage. Now, does every single person need therapy that goes through the weight loss program? I 100% believe so. I needed therapy when I released 130 pounds. I needed it because I was a different woman. My marriage needed it because it was on the brink of falling apart because I was a brand new woman. I had a brand new identity. My husband was scared. I was scared because I didn't even know who I was. And so yes, I do believe I will stand up and I will say therapy for every single person who's lost over 20 pounds. Not even kidding about that. You can think I'm crazy, that's fine. However, my results and my practice have shown. But if you are a food addict, we are not doing therapy first because that red dog will play with your therapist's mind. Let me tell you. He will do anything he can to get the drug. He will sound good, he will sound evil, he will sound sad, he will sound manipulative. He is very very personal. Very personal. Can I encourage you today? I'm going to close out of here. I want to encourage you that there's hope. Not only hope to lose weight, but there's hope to keep it off. And to get your mind back. Sister, I know what you're going through. I was there. I walked it. I know the wrestling match you're facing right now. I feel it. I know it. I see it. I see you. But we can do nothing successfully until you're ready. I love you guys so much. I thank you for letting me have my Friday. I was going to take today off. I still might take the day off. But I thank you for just kind of sitting into my heart conversation. Thanks for listening. And if you need me, you reach out. I just posted the website in the comment section, kmhealthcoaching.org. You can go find Coach Darcy over there. If you're a young mom, that's the coach you want. If you're a person with menopause, we do everything. We cross over. I just love how God put our team together, though. I love the passion that He put in our team. You guys love Coach Darcy. She's amazing. She is some. God bless me. Did you all know she's my sister? That was something that I completely did not expect God to do in my life. Give me my sister to work with. And I've never found such an easy transition. It's just easy to work with her. I don't ever have to worry. She's coming out of her shy stage. All right, guys, you are so loved. I want you to know there's hope, there's healing, and we're here when you're ready. Not a